Good things come to those who don't wait around. That's what they say anyway. Knowing my luck, the opposite is probably true for me. Adventure time.
Lol.
It's shocking how much work there is to do. And she's been handling it alone all along. The Qixing secretary clearly isn't an ordinary person.
You're just...
Aren't you Ningguang's servants? How come you're here?
We are Miss Ningguang's private secretaries, not servants.
Have you seen Miss Ganyu, Traveler? It has been several days since Ganyu left for Jueyun Karst. She's the general secretary of the Liyue Qixing. We've only taken over her responsibilities until she gets back.
Even though the Qixing have made peace with the Adepti after the latter had denounced Liyue, they still want to pay their respects to the Illuminated Ones. They commissioned Ganyu as their envoy to deliver a letter to Jueyun Karst. Still, Ganyu should have been back to her usual responsibilities by now, but she's disappeared without a trace.
Is that so? Maybe Ganyu just took a little detour. Who can blame her after working so hard?
I'm afraid it's not very likely. Ever since we met Ms. Ganyu, she's been nothing but the most conscientious person in all of Liyue. Even when it's time for her annual leave, Ms. Ganyu stays on duty at Yuehai Pavilion saying there is still so much to do. She couldn't possibly be using her mission as an excuse.
Oh, Paimon sees how it is. But she's half Adeptus.
It's because of this absurd workload of hers. When we first heard the three of us would be taking over for Miss Ganyu, we thought it would simply be a matter of changing our work environment. We couldn't have imagined that Miss Ganyu's daily workload far exceeds what the three of us are used to doing.
Speaking of Jueyun Karst, Traveler, I've heard that you can go in and out of there as you please.
Of course, we've been...
That's good news. Could you go to Jueyun Karst and find Miss Ganyu for us? Preferably before we collapse under this workload. We're saved.
It's about time she came back to work. Otherwise...
No, perhaps we should go to Lady Ningguang first and bring up our overtime.
So Ganyu left to visit Cloud Retainer. Doesn't she live in Mount Aozang? We should hurry up. Paimon hopes we can find her there.
Ниже. Может тогда отсюда. Да блин. Да блин. Лучше уж отсюда. Цветочки, которые она любит. Микрофон заткнись нахрен.
Off we go!
Черт, сейчас бы нюкнуть. А, вон она стоит. А я ее не выебил.
Person standing over there. That's Ganyu. We finally found her. Ganyu, here you are.
You two. I did not expect to meet you here. Is it official or private affairs that bring you here? I shouldn't. I have left the human world. Please contact the Yua High Pavilion regarding matters concerning the commercial port.
Huh? You don't want to be the Qixing secretary anymore? But they're all waiting for you to come back.
That's why you're here? You want me to come back? I'm afraid you came here in vain.
What? Did something happen?
The clouds fold and unfold. The tide ebbs and flows. It was meant to be. When the Adepti entrusted humans with overseeing Liyue, I knew it was only a matter of time until I had to leave. My Adepti blood makes me unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. I delivered the letter and came back to Liyue Harbor, only to discover that I had been replaced by Baiwen, Baishao, and Baishu. Perhaps that mission of mine was just a pretext to remove me. Since the Qixing gave me a chance to leave with dignity, I decided to be tactful as well. I appreciate your kindness, but there's no need for your words of comfort. After 1,000 years away, I came back to Juyun Karst. Looking at the clouds floating among the mountains brings me peace of mind.
But...
Who disturbs the peace of these mountains?
Cloud Retainer?
One merely jests. One felt your presence the moment you set foot upon this land.
Wow! You Adepti really are impressive!
Come here to chat about the old times with Ganyu. It looks like you get along quite well. A matter leaves you at not to worry. One is exceptional at seeking avenues for conversation. One has been one's own companion in idle talk for many a year. Ah, yes. Since you are Ganyu's friends, tales from her youth shall one apprise you of, perhaps?
Oh, Cloud Retainer.
Nothing to be ashamed of. You were so cute as a child. One is most certain that your friends would like to hear of it.
Oh, Paimon wants to hear it!
Little Ganyu loved when the horns on the top of her head were caressed. When one was still taking care of her, one was pestered most often to touch her horns.
Wow!
Plump she was back then. Why, when she stumbled while we ascended the mountain, she would roll down to the bottom like a little ball. The day Ganyu bumped into a pilgrim was the first time she saw a real human in the flesh. So fearful she was that she hid in a rock's cleft for 2 days and nights. One found her wailing of a monster she had seen.
Cloud Retainer? Forget it. It's about time for my training. I will take my leave.
Ah, one's intention was merely to relieve the awkward tension.
And you did the exact opposite. Impressive!
Be that so? Huh, but returning to Ganyu, most gladdened one is of your arrival. One cannot help but feel that remaining in Juyun Karst shall not be good. One will tell you more about her, if you should permit it. Most benevolent among all Adepti are the Qilin. They drink only spring water and eat only whole grain. But perhaps the mountainous dwellings of Adepti in Joyun Karst might be too lonely for her human side. Under moonlight did one see her last. She stood by the precipice's edge, and upon the mist-veiled mountains she gazed. Her thin figure was immersed in the vast sea of clouds. One noticed her loneliness, and sought to convince her to go back to the human world. But just then, she said thus.
Liyue Harbor feels even lonelier than Joyun Karst. When I look at the sea of clouds in Joyun Karst, I merely feel the loneliness of a solitary cloud gazer. When I step into the sea of people in Liyue, I feel the loneliness of an inhuman that doesn't belong in the human world.
One did, by chance, hear this much of Gane alone. She will find her predicament hard to conquer.
Oh, Retainer's right. We can't leave Ganyu depressed like that. Anyways, what's that training Ganyu was talking about?
She has sought to reclaim her Adeptus side since returning to Joyun Karst. She should be in the southern part of Mount Aozang right now.
Huh, is that so? Let's go take a look then.
Why did you come here? Is that so? You really are interested in the ways of Adepti. This trial was prepared by Cloud Retainer. Its goal is to help me feel like an Adeptus again. The training is much to her signature style. I hope it won't make it seem like she is too unaware of the abilities of others.
Is it difficult?
No, I'm aware of your strength, Traveler. If you're ready, we shall begin the training.
Так, а что дальше?
Next on the agenda.
There's a lot of gliding around. It does feel like something Cloud Retainer would come up with.
If you could see through the eyes of an Adeptus, you wouldn't be so surprised.
Колокольчик звенит. Что, я не пошел, что ли? Твою мать.
we've completed the task. What do you think? I agree. You possess many qualities similar to those of Adepti, despite having none of their blood.
Ganyu, what were you planning to do once your training was over?
The training's not over yet. The part
Huh? So there are more trials prepared by other Adepti?
No. The only Adeptus who can unlock my true potential is...
Who is it?
Conqueror of Demons.
Huh. So it's Shao. That cold-hearted loner? How come he's prepared a trial for you?
I found him unapproachable at first, too. But I believe that being able to face him is an important part of my homecoming. He's already waiting for me. Come along if you're interested.
Of course we are.
Реальный писем.
You're half an hour late. I see you still haven't abandoned the wrongful ways of humankind.
I'm sorry. I had a meeting with Cloud Retainer. I
don't need your explanations and don't require any mutual understanding between us. I'm just helping you with your training.
Shao is such a strict teacher.
You're neither an Adeptus nor a human, always treading the line between the two worlds. It must create a lot of confusion. Instead of explaining yourself to me, you should face your true self.
I have nothing to hide.
The body and the mind are one. If something worries your mind, your body can help you find a solution. The trial I've prepared for you will explore the true potential of your body.
Yes. I'm ready.
The trial's begun! Paimon can feel it in the air. Even the weather's changed.
Born of ice and frost.
Teamwork is strict!
Блин, она ж пятая. Это вообще на защиту не там.
Play's over. Next on the agenda. behind schedule.
Everybody stand! Enhanced animal module 75.
We're way behind schedule. Blaze over. Next on the agenda.
Да, неплохо. Not bad.
I've completed your trial.
You don't have to report back to me. Seeking out only you can evaluate the result of this trial. You'll progress faster that way.
Understood.
Xiao always has such strong opinions.
From tomorrow on, I'll start raising the difficulty of your training, so you'll have to...
Have to do what?
Another one of those pesky visitors. I'll leave him to you, Ganyu. It's also a part of your training.
Pesky visitor? So even here there are those that Xiao can't deal with?
Oh heavens! Blessed be Rex Lapis! I've finally come upon the Adepti. Are all of you the Adepti of this mountain? Great! My name's Sin Chung. I came to ask for your merciful...
Oh, so it's a pilgrim. Huh. He can handle any battle, but talking to strange humans is a different story, huh?
I am all...
Perfect! I didn't come in vain then. What blessings can you grant me?
Wow, straight
Dear Pilgrim, you shouldn't jump...
For free?
That's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that everything should be earned through hard work and earnest living. It would be unfair to other people if you got everything you wanted for no reason.
Hold on. I've heard this all before. You're just like my old man. Oh.
Your father must have experienced it firsthand. A person of your age should focus on work and family.
Are you a real Adeptus? Why do you speak and behave like us city folk? You sure you're not one of those swindlers who pose as an Adeptus to cheat people out of their money? Ugh, how dare you reprove me?
He might sorta...
Enough! Doesn't matter if you're a real Adeptus or not. You're useless. I'm leaving.
Порвать его.
Nobody's stopping. Ganyu, don't let that guy ruin your mood.
It's not his behavior. The things he said... He was right. I thought that coming back to Jueyun Karst and devoting myself to training would make me feel like an Adeptus again. But being questioned by him made me realize that I... But... I'm unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. As an Adeptus, I...
It's true! Just believe us!
Alright. I'll go with you to Liyue Harbor. That said, I still trust my initial judgment. If I'm proven right, I'll return to Jueyun Karst once again.
It's a step in the right direction. Let's go!
Сейчас окажется что-нибудь неприятное. Сейчас что-нибудь случится, это точно. Все так просто не бывает. Кстати. Маловато. Прикольно. Ладно, это потом.
We're finally back!
I'm still...
Come on, Ganyu! We're almost there! You don't want to turn back now, do you?
I suppose you have a point. It would be quite impolite of me to leave the two of you now.
That's right! Where do you want to go first, then?
I've spent too much time in the mountains. The first thing that comes to my mind is the sea. Let's go for a walk in the port.
Happy to come with.
Сейчас, секунду. О, еще там рыбы можно докупить с крабами. Их всегда не хватает. Хотя я не трачу еду, в общем-то.
Off we go!
Интересно, триггер сразу сработает, успею купить?
I'll just count them. The sound of the waves in this familiar port. The smell of the sea breeze makes me nostalgic.
Ganyu, you didn't leave Liyue for that long. Why do you look so moved?
Well, I used to be so busy. I haven't taken a stroll around here in a long time.
Huh. That's true. Ganyu seemed to be working all the time.
Well, when I think about my time here, I've spent most of it behind a desk filing documents. It put me in a certain mood, similar to the one I felt during my training in Juyun Karst, in fact.
Why, isn't it little Miss Ganyu? I wouldn't have thought I'd meet you here. You were always so...
This old man called her Little Miss Ganyu.
Please don't also start calling me that. Allow me to introduce Uncle Tian. He is...
That's all right. Just tell them the truth. They have...
Uncle Tian is a member of the Liyue Qixing, the Tianshu.
What? This grandpa is a member of the Qixing? The same rank as Ningguang?
Hush now. I must ask for your discretion concerning my identity. Fishing in the port and strolling about are the greatest pleasures of my life. I have no wish to be followed around by those armed guards. In most people's eyes, I'm just a forgetful and wordy old man.
Uncle Tian is too modest. He's been around for a long time. There's no one who can replace a person of such noble character.
Oh, little Miss Ganyu. Your kind words make me feel that my decades of hard work haven't been in vain.
Uncle Tian, a person of your standing should really stop calling me Little Miss Ganyu.
Oh, my apologies. It's not intentional, just a childhood habit of mine. Thank you for looking after me when I first ascended to my position in the Qixing.
Oh, so you've been friends for many days.
Oh, I was just fulfilling my duties as the Qixing secretary. It's nothing worthy of your gratitude.
Talking about secretaries... Oh, I don't know if I should bring it up.
Yes, she works at Yue High Pavilion and she's my junior.
I don't know myself, really. She's all grown up now and doesn't like... May I trouble you to meet her at Yue High Pavilion?
With pleasure. Solving the Qixing's problems has always been in my job description.
She's back in character, just like that, huh? Let's move then.
Да, она действительно не замечает, как возвращается к работе. Пахать и пахать.
Miss Ganyu. I don't know why, but seeing you brings me a sense of peace in these chaotic times.
Indeed, it has been a while, Wei Xin. I heard that you've encountered some problems and came to see if I could be of some help.
My father asked you to come, didn't abusing his status as a member of the Qixing to trouble you.
Don't worry. I'm always
Ganyu's not only a competent secretary, but also...
So, what can you tell me about the problem?
Ugh, where should I start? I discovered something. There are obvious irregularities in the tax declarations of 2 stores, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique. How, without any evidence, my hands are tied.
I see. It's not uncommon for merchants to be blinded by greed.
Well, is there any solution you can...
Naturally. I've dealt with similar issues hundreds of times. Give me a moment to consider the best approach in this scenario. All right. Let's approach it this way then. Your enemy knows you best.
Huh?
If I remember correctly, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique.
In that case... Ah! I know what you mean, Miss Ganyu.
Exactly. Let's start with Wanyo Boutique. The owner's name is...
Yes, you're right. Follow me, please.
Aha! We meet again.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Bolai. One, should we need to place such an order...
What? Ugh. That right.
Well, Second Life's credit has always been... Huh.
Don't let that rascal fool you. I know. If you don't believe me, show me his tax record.
You know Second Life's business so well?
Of course. I'd rather lose money myself than see that rascal make some.
Well then, please look...
Oh, of course. Line by line and... Ah, here, that exquisite wooden furniture set he bought from Look at the tax record. No
I see. He must have gotten rid of all the...
I told you.
But, Miss Ganyu...
He might have destroyed all the evidence, but...
Aha, you're right. Master...
I hope so. Let's go to Fanmu Carpenters. Thank you for shining a light on this case, Mr. Balai.
Oh, please, please, that's nothing. I just hope you won't be lenient with him once you find...
I'm afraid...
It's all right, Wei-Shin.
Oh, that's so...
И туда-сюда таскаться ради какой-то мебели.
Welcome. I'm usually happy to take new apprentices, but I'm afraid I can't take too many.
Kingsa really is full of
Hey, I heard that. Flying one?
I'm sorry.
Для обычных людей Паймон тоже летающая. Я что-то теории слышал, что ее воспринимают как обычную девочку.
Master Liu, we've just come to see you and ask you some questions.
Why would the Qixing care about an old man?
You're very direct, Master Liu. Dongsheng bought some furniture from you at the beginning.
Oh, it's about Second Life.
Sure enough, Mr. Balai, could we perhaps borrow?
Of course, but... I only do my woodwork and display finished ware. As for old documents and such, I keep... But some troublemakers have... Since you need that in...
So that's what happened. I see.
I'll leave you to it then.
Take back the warehouse.
Wait, I think I saw one of those troublemakers.
Oh, Paimon sees them too. It's one of the Fatui!
О, бедный чувак, который ягодки собирает.
They must be plotting something.
Maybe they're the scoundrels who invaded Master.
Ever since Osial attacked the harbor, we won't cause a serious diplomatic crisis. Besides, my intuition as the secretary of the chief.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go teach him a lesson.
Бедный чувак, ягодки хотел собрать. Так, ладно, сейчас, секунду. Ой, блин. Так, погнали. Бедняга.
I think you've had enough.
Plan? What plan?
We just taught you a lesson, but clearly you weren't paying attention. If you don't spill whatever, we'll be forced to use harsher methods.
I'm telling the truth.
If you're telling the truth...
Fine. If you
About to...
pick berries over there.
I must admit,
It's not an excuse. I rarely have a free morning. Think about it. I'm here alone, and
Judging by how he's looking at us, it does seem like...
So you have nothing to do with the...
Vanmo Carpenter, I swear.
So it wasn't the Fatui who took over Master Lu's warehouse.
I misjudged this.
Exchange? This woman, she's clearly aware that the Ministry of Civil Affairs would...
Yes, precisely. As an
Paimon's in!
Darn you. How can you win?
What's your choice then?
I'll get back to my berries.
Прикольно, конечно.
What a bittersweet ending.
I made a laughingstock out of myself. I might have spent too much time away from...
No worries. It's...
Let's keep moving towards Master Lu's warehouse. Our goal is to get the invoice, after all.
Черт, кошка идет.
Off we go.
So this is the warehouse.
Ультас Хорос
Seems
не
like those
готова.
troublemakers were nothing more than a
Жалко.
few hair churls. Let's show them what we got. Absorption test. Go in!
Ложь.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Добьет, интересно. Не
Absorption
добьет.
test. one is an invoice from... This one is Wangsheng Funeral Parlors. Oh, so they make coffins too! This one is Second Lives! We finally found it! Let's bring this in...
Надо бы, кстати, собирать вот это все. По боевому пропуску быстро набирается все это.
I hope it... I promise to help you and I'll keep my word. Look, it's the invoice for the transaction between Second Life and Fanmu...
Thank you.
Agreed. How about we go to Second Life and... have a...
Off we go!
Isn't it... Wacing? I told you that all of my transactions are included in the rec. I do hope that my business won't be affected.
Groundless accusations? But I sincerely advise that you cease this behavior immediately.
No. No. I'm an honest merchant. I would never get involved with any fraudulent...
Haven't I made myself clear? Mr. Dong...
What?
He's talking without rhyme or reason. Time for the finishing blow!
Mr. Dongsheng, can you tell me what this is? Do you admit to tax evasion? This trip...
I didn't think you'd find...
Indeed. We wouldn't have...
The lie? That imp from Wanyo Boutique? So he... He's got his own share of dirty laundry.
Oh? Mr. Dongsheng, I'd like to hear a little more about... I don't think you'll need my guidance for what comes next.
Yes, thank you, Ms.
That's good.
I must say, you're truly your enemy knows you best. To think, you came up with this plan and
It's actually one of your father's.
My father?
Pitting your opponent against their enemies. That's how Uncle Tian managed to keep his position in the Qixing I figured that as Uncle Tian's daughter, so I decided to use one of your father's tricks.
I can see it now. I'm really grateful, Ms. Ganyu.
Ganyu solved both Huishin's work and...
Oh, you've helped me so much.
That's not necessary. No need to be so serious.
Then let me treat you to a meal.
Alright, come on, Ganyu. Just say yes.
If it's just a meal, there's...
Actually, I've already booked Senor Kiosk.
Alright.
Adventure time!
Here is consumer psychology.
Блин. Стоп, что?
Ms. Ganyu, thank you for accepting my invitation. And as for the two of you...
Sure!
That's so kind of you, Huishin. You went to great lengths to organize this.
Truth be told, apart from...
Oh?
No, I don't really need help.
With pleasure.
When I was a little girl, even though I have the utmost respect for my father, I've only decided to join the Yuhai Pavilion staff because I've always looked up to you.
I didn't know that you think so highly of me.
However, in reality, working at the Yuhai Pavilion, I can't compare myself to such an outstanding secretary like you.
I disagree. You're a great secretary in your own right.
Thank you. Over the years, I became a mother, too.
Huh? So Uncle Tian is a grandpa!
Influenced by my youthful ideals, she followed. At first, I was worried about her. It's not an easy job, after all. But after all that happened this time,
So, what made you change your mind?
The fact that she'll have you, Ms. Ganyu, as her senior colleague. You'll help her, gentle as always, and tell her your mom used to do it like that. It'd be such a beautiful moment. If it's not too much to ask for, she might still need your guidance in 20+ years, too.
Huixin, I never thought that I meant so much to you.
Just like when you showed me my father's trick.
Witness. It's true that I've witnessed thousands of years of Liyue Harbor's history. All the changes it's gone through, the stories of its people. But I've always regarded it as nothing more than the source of my loneliness. Huixin, you don't know how important those words are to me. You've made me realize that I share another connection with the people of Liyue Harbor. They rely on me, accept me, and long for me to bear witness to their stories.
Oh, of course. You're irreplaceable to us.
That's right. That's why I can't disappoint you.
Hooray! Ganyu's finally cheered up!
Even if I've really been supplanted, I wish to fight for my place. I won't let you down. Regardless, I'll go back and see for myself. I'm afraid that it might have all become a mess during my absence. No time to waste. Let's get back to work.
Good luck, Miss Ganyu.
We're leaving already? I'm still hungry.
Опять туда.
Off we go! Adventure time! Adventure time! Adventure...
Baisha, are you okay? Did you fall asleep standing? Look! Look who's back!
You even have enough time for leisure?
Not at all.
We wouldn't have survived long enough to see you again, Miss Ganyu.
Miss Ganyu, we've missed you.
That's so kind of you.
We've been praying day and night for you to return and take over your duties again.
To us, you're like an adeptus coming down to the human world to...
Forget all our envious complaints from before.
All right, I see. Please divide the matters at hand into government affairs, business affairs, and civil. I'll take care of the rest.
Of course. We'll do it right away.
Oh, finally.
Yes. There's one more thing. I'd like to earnestly thank you, Traveler. If it weren't for your companionship, I would still be embroiled in my inner conflict right now. To think that I'd gained a human friend outside of work. I'd like to repay you when I'm done with the work at hand. What would you say if I accompanied you on one of your trips?
Sure, but are you ever done with work, Ganyu?
Let's cross that bridge when we come to it, shall we?
10-й ранг. Ху-ху-ху. 10-й ранг. Не, я манал сейчас повышать. Ладно, это все.
Benny's adventure team, assemble!